valor de Don Quijote. Toma mi brazo por instrumento de sus hazañas. Él pelea en mí, él vence en mí, y yo vivo y respiro en él. En él tengo vida y ser. Miguel de Cervantes, a vuestras órdenes. En un lugar de La Mancha,
in a certain town of La Mancha, the name of which I do not care to recollect, there lives an hidalgo, an idle gentleman, born into the rural gentry. He is known as Alonso Piata. Our hidalgo borders on the age of 50. He has a spare figure, odd features, is as weathered as the harsh plains of La Mancha itself. He possesses a kind of land and meager income that would scarcely covers the cost of his daily lentils and his Sunday stew. He is a lonely man. His life is dull, dry. He has never known love. For all that, he is an early riser and an honest gentleman who spends his time of leisure, which is most of the year, devoted to constant study.
The avid reading of the old tales of ancient chivalry.
He shares his household with his niece Antonia and his housekeeper.
Uncle, you neglect the management of your dwindling estate and continue to sell your few remaining acres of land to buy volume after volume of outmoded fiction.
You do nothing but read old dusty books, night to morning, morning to night.
Of particular interest are the knights errant of centuries past.
Those traveling gentlemen who ally themselves to no nobleman's court will live under the cloak of heaven.
They rode out, ready to face unknown perils on behalf of the needy and the frail.
Who was the most illustrious knight? Arthur of England or El Cid?
No. Reinaldo de Montalban,
Amaras of Gaul.
the knight of the flaming sword.
Fantasies fill his head with everything he reads. Enchantments,
Battles,
challenges,
giants,
homes,
pyramids,
ravishments.
raptures.
Our gentleman becomes so caught up in his reading that his brains dry up and he loses his mind.
Oh, vive Dios! Justicia! Arma! Warna!
Your sword, Senor Piana. Then he has the strangest thought any lunatic ever had.
I will become a knight errant. I shall forsake my books and sally forth into unknown dangers. I shall clad myself in
The rusty antique armor of a long-dead ancestor.
and travel the world in search of wrongs to be righted. Thus, I will bring glory to my name. But I must first choose a title and a name in the style of the heroes of literature. Senor.
Not Senor, Don.
Don.
Don Quixote.
Don Quixote! Don Quixote! Surely not this meager town.
Of this whole region, Don Quixote de la Mancha.
Don Quixote de la Mancha! I will reflect honor upon my lineage and upon my select.
Boy be most worthy of adoration.
A young lady from the neighboring town of El Toboso. Donza Corchuelo.
Daughter of the local hog butcher.
A damsel with whom I was once in love.
You must name her something sweet.
Dulce. Dulce. Dulcinea! Dulcinea! Del Toboso.
Then he goes to his lonely swayback horse,
His celebrated steed!
whose hooves have more cracks than his master's brain pan.
I shall call you Rocinante.
Rocinante means the nag that goes before. Thus our gentleman's horse is the foremost nag in all the world.
Episodio número 1, que trata de la primera salida de su tierra que hace Don Quixote.
Deeply imbued as he is with the ornate style used in antiquated books of chivalry, Don Quixote evokes the prose of those novels as he travels forward.
Doubtless. In future ages, when my history is written, it will begin thus. Scarce had the little painted warblers hailed the arrival of Rosy Aurora, when lo, the illustrious Don Quixote de la Mancha, up swinging from his tranquil couch, called So I am assaulted by a dreadful thought. According to the books of chivalry, until I have been duly knighted, I can neither challenge an antagonist of high degree nor enter any tournament.
But what does he see by the road?
Ah, castle! And does the Lord Master himself come out to greet me? Oh, gentle prince, never was a man so honored.
Do you want lodging?
Armor is my shelter.
Do you want food?
Oh, my nourishment is the fray. I do ask, however, that special care be given to my mount, Rocinante.
This nag?
A more elegant piece of horseflesh never chewed it out.
Okay.
I humbly beg your lordship to grant me one favor.
Signor?
Never will I rise from this supplicant posture, thrice valiant knight, until you assure me that this boon shall be granted.
What?
I entreat you, make me a knight, that I may traverse the world redressing wrongs and delivering solace to the needy.
Solace to the needy? What?
My books tell me that it was common practice for one knight to dub another. Shall we adjourn to the castle chapel for the ceremony?
Chapel? It's closed. It's closed for renovations. Other rooms are available. Before we go in, though, let me ask, do you have money?
Not a real, no.
Stop eating, you miserable stag, and you get back down on your knees.
Right here,
Well,
now.
any place will do for this.
Be a knight.
It's the dubs on the neck that man, the smacks on the and the whacks on that man. You're a knight.
Gracias. In my boundless gratitude, I offer my services to you in anything you command.
Do you carry cash?
I have never read in all the histories of chivalry that any knight errant would trouble himself with such an encumbrance.
These writers can't mention everything a traveler needs. You need money, you need food, you need medicine, you need money, you need clean underwear.
Yes.
You need money. Oh yes, and you need a servant to carry your bags to protect that money.
Well, heaven preserve your worship. I shall follow your advice in every particular.
Go away, by God's sake.
Nine.
Don Quixote takes refuge in his usual remedy. He thinks about his books and
Dulcinea! Oh, Dulcinea! Where art thou, lady of my heart? So heedless of my misery. Yes, about so. There thou art, while I suffer here for thee.
but before our gentleman commences another verse, it so happens that his fellow townsmen come upon the scene. Andre Perez, the village priest,
who is a graduate of a university.
Padre of a minor university.
But is a man of some learning nonetheless.
and Nicholas.
The barber, our friend, Don Quixote, is here.
Has something happened, senor?
I lie here injured in the field.
Where have you been?
Marquez de Mantua. Where have I not been, huh?
I'm Padre Perez, the priest, your confessor.
Do you hurt, dear friend?
Oh, valiant Don Rodrigo de Narvaez. My whole body throbs with one continuous bruise.
I'm Nicholas, the barber. Your barber.
Occasion by a fearful engagement with giants.
Giant!
Giants,
Yes, gigantes, gigantes enormes. Ten of the most insolent giants that ever appeared on the face of the earth.
tell us, senor, do you know who you are?
Of course, I know very well who I am. I am Don Quixote de la Mancha.
And so, as night falls, they return to the village.
Uncle, open the gates, carry me to bed. Search out the great enchantress Urganda, that she may appear and minister to the hurts which I have acquired through no fault of my own.
Well, your enchantress can go to the devil. We'll nurse you ourselves. Curse those books 100 times.
By the sign of the cross, I perceive that one of the finest minds in all of La Mancha has been perverted by an extravagance of reading.
My uncle does read these books frequently for 2 days and nights together.
Yes, and then he takes one book, throws it on the ground, pulls out his sword, and attacks the very walls.
These books are detrimental to the nation, so stuffed with improbable nonsense, they must be banished like undoes people like from Christian nations.
Padre, would you sprinkle them with holy water?
No, there is no remedy but excommunication. Excommunication of these books of chivalry. We will try each in order and condemn the guilty to the flames. Blessed be the function of my faith.
Episodio número 2 del grande escrutinio en la librería de nuestro Hidalgo.
Padre, these are very special. The 4 volumes of Amadeus of Gaul.
The first books of chivalry to be printed in Spain. Condemned.
Even the exploits of Esplandian, the son of Amadeus.
The sins of the father condemns the son. He shall burn.
This is a fine one, the Mirror of Chivalry.
It is a translation from the Italian, and all translations want the energy of the original. Condemned.
The Glorious Adventures of Don Alvivante.
The reason for the unreason, to which my reason turns, so weakens my reason, that with reason I complain of thy beauty.
Burn it!
Burn it.
But this is the Galatea of Michael Cervantes.
No,
Burn
please, don't burn that book. It's not a book on chivalry. It's a pastoral romance.
Burn
Burn
it!
the oath.
There's some
Promise is the second part.
there's some fine invention here. Confine it in your own quarters.
Thank you. And so our inquisitors make their judgments, delivering those that they deem sinners to.
The burning bonfire!
Lynn.
Don Quixote rises from his slumbers and goes to visit his beloved library.
What mischief is here? My books! Housekeeper!
Uncle, did you sleep well?
Where are my books?
Books? Are there books?
Not in this house. The devil took them.
Not the devil, surely.
Was it by chance a magician?
Yes!
Ah!
He flew in on a dragon.
And left on a cloud of smoke.
Shouting his name.
Munyatan.
Gutless.
He must have said, Freston!
Could have been Freston, yeah. Or Friton. All I know is it ended in ton.
So it must be my great enemy.
And all the books are gone.
Preston! The dreaded enchanter! By the mysteries of his art, he knows that one day I shall vanquish a knight whom he favors. And so, he endeavors to thwart me! I must sally forth!
But first, following the sage advice of the lord of the castle, you must acquire some money.
I shall discreetly mortgage one thing here and pawn another there.
You need a servant.
Servant. I shall make overtures to a peasant neighbor.
A good man with a small brain.
Me?
May I present Squire Sancho Panza?
My squire, indeed. Every knight-errant such as I am has a squire who serves in anticipation of no small gain to himself.
Well, in that case, Louis Bien.
And Squire Sancho Panza is accompanied by his celebrated ass, Lucio.
Do you intend to mount this animal?
This is my darling Lucio. And I'm not meant to travel on foot.
I cannot recall ever reading of any squire bestriding an ass. I will allow it. granting the first discourteous night we meet, for it is the privilege of squires to knights errant to enrich themselves with the spoils of combat.
Gracias, senor.
Sancho, you must know, my friend, that among the ancient knights errant, it was an established custom to invest their squires with the government of lands, regions, or islands, which they might happen to conquer during their wanderings.
Well, I could govern an island easy. And you must know, you've probably heard, he who travels with a great one could become great himself. With you as my master, I could become a king.
Who could doubt that? Sancho, Rocinante! That's my horse. When I say Rocinante, you bring my horse. Thank you. Oh, Rocinante!
Everything being thus settled and fulfilled, without so much as taking leave of friends or family, in the darkness of a summer dawn, they depart.
The knight upon his steed!
The squire upon his excellent ass.
Estimados caballeros y damas, Don Quixote de la Mancha y Sancho Panza.
Sancho, know, my friend, that I was born by the will of heaven into this age of iron to revive the age of gold!
Episodio número 3, que trata de la jamás imaginada aventura que tiene el valeroso Don Quijote.
They travel hard until
I, Sancho, good fortune greets us!
Senor?
Look, yonder,
Where?
ahead, on the horizon! Chance has conducted our affairs even better than we could have wished!
Gigantes.
Giants!
Giant?
30, 40 outrageous giants!
Giants?
I will wage good war on them.
You mean up ahead?
And when I have slain them all, you may enrich yourself with the spoils.
Senor, those are windmills.
They are giants. Their arms must be 2 leagues long.
Those are sails.
If you are afraid, you move aside and say your prayer. Rocinante! Pleasantview! Ah!
The wind begins to blow.
The sails are moving.
Oh! What insolence! Flailing their many arms at me! Doña Dulcinea, protect me!
Oh. Senor, I told you, didn't you listen to me? Those are windmills.
This must be the work of Fresto,
Who?
that dreaded enchanter. He converted these giants into windmills to rob me of the glory of defeating them. Such is the hatred he bears me. But rest assured, all his treacherous art shall one day fall before my virtuous sword.
Senor, you must stay steady. Sit up straight. Are you hurt?
It is not the custom for knights errant to complain about any wound, even if their stomachs, bowels, or intestines spit out because of it.
Your Grace, you can complain if you want. I complain about every little ache. Can we eat?
I feel no need for food at the moment. You may go to victuals if you please.
And with that permission, Sancho Panza falls in behind Don Quixote. He takes a big swig of wine. He bites an onion.
We will plunge our hands elbows deep into this thing called adventure, Sancho! But be advised, under the laws of chivalry, you are not permitted to help me against any knight until you have been dubbed a knight yourself. Even if you see me in the greatest danger, you must by no means lay your hand upon your sword to defend me.
But as to defending myself, Signor, no law of man or the gods prevent me from doing so.
Of course. But in the affair of assisting me against knights, you must hold your natural impetuosity in check. Eh?
Your Grace will be strictly obeyed in this.
Episodio número 4, donde el valiente manchego encuentra al gallardo vasco y otros viajeros.
As Don Quixote and Sancho Panza continue on their way, they come upon an entourage consisting of
The daring masked monk.
who escorts a
Beautiful masked lady.
who is traveling from.
Bilbao to Sevilla to join husband.
Her husband is.
About to embark for Indies, where important position awaits him.
In addition, there is a
Benedictine monk.
although the monk is not part of the Basque company, he is riding on the same road.
After the monk comes the servant.
Sancho! Those black apparitions on the road! Doubtless they are evil enchanters. And see! They keep captive a helpless princess! Either I am deceived, or this might be the most famous transportation ever!
Signor, I think you are deceived.
I must undo this wrong.
These are just a monk and travelers.
You know little, Sancho, of the ways of adventure. Watch, and you shall see. Monstrous and diabolical creatures! On hand that noble princess you unlawfully imprisoned, or prepare to receive immediate death!
Bless me, senor. I do not know anything about a noble princess. I am an innocent monk of the order of Saint Benedict.
No fawning speeches, you perfidious rabble! Rocinante! Adelante! Sancho, the spoils are yours.
Why are you stripping him?
Oh, these are the these are the spoils of war, what my master has won in combat.
The servant, who has no sense of humor and knows nothing of spoils and battles, attacks him. Master. Oh,
Pardon me. Oh, beauteous lady, you may now dispose of your own person according to your pleasure, for your ravishers are vanquished by this, my mighty arm.
Who are you?
Your liberator, Don Quixote, knight errant La Mancha, adventurer and champion of the peerless Dulcinea del Toboso.
Mucho gusto, senor.
And for the service I have rendered to you, I request that you go to El Toboso to present yourself to the fair lady of my soul and describe to her what I have done to set you free.
Alas, I must decline amusing proposal.
No, you must go to El Toboso to tell my lady what I've done for you.
El Toboso, no! Go, be gone, or I kill you.
The tenets of knight errantry preclude me from engaging you in single combat, as you are a servant. You are not a gentleman, and thus not my equal.
I not a gentleman. I must. A gentleman of land, gentleman of sea. I will kill you. Draw sword.
Oh, Lady Dulcinea, come to the aid of thy knight! Ah!
Oh, Castillo, Maldito!
No! Bring it out! Come on! Oh! Yeah! You want some of this? Come on!
Huge waves of the incensed companions flare right ahead of me. How itself, the enraped pass strikes for fury. His sword falls on Quixote's shoulders. Quixote is okay, wait a minute, just lost for half of his ear. Fine, Dios, the basket's down. Blood gushes from his injuries, spouts from his nose, and pours from his mouth.
Surrender or I cut off your head!
Stay alive, attendant.
Oh, assuredly, most gracious lady, I am prepared to do as you request, but with the proviso that this servant of yours goes straight to El Toboso, presents himself to my lady to tell him, to her, what I have done for you.
He shall do that.
So then with faith in your good word, I do him no more harm, though he richly deserves it.
Where we go, me lady?
We're no help.
Hey, Brother Sancho! Have you ever seen a more valiant knight than I am? Have you ever read in any story of one who possesses more dexterity, more perseverance, more courage?
Well, senor, I can't read or write. Cannot read or write, but maybe you can now grant me that island you promised as a result of this dreadful combat.
Brother Sancho, you must know, such adventures as this, these are not adventures of islands. These are adventures of roadside brawls in which nothing is won but a busted head or a missing ear.
You should procure a helmet.
I shall take one off the next night I vanquish, much as Reinaldo de Magalan seized the enchanted helmet of Maleo!
Oh, nada más.
Observe, dear readers, the old proverb holds true. Shut one door, another will open.
Episodio número 5, que trata de una aventura alta.
In the same region where Don Quixote and Sancho Panza are traveling, a man walks on a road. He is an itinerant barber. He wears a hat, a new hat,
The towns hereabout are so poor, so very poor. I need to travel from village to village, seeking a cheek to shave, hair to trim, perhaps a Spanish beard. And with me I carry the tools of my trade.
As chance would have it, rain starts to fall.
My hat! My new hat!
Your laser basin.
My what?
Your barber's basin.
How?
To provide protection for your hat. Put it on.
Oh, see.
Gracias, muchas gracias. Hallelujah.
Sancho! If I am not egregiously mistaken, a person stands before us who wears upon his head the magical helmet of Marino!
Oh, not a mas, senor, not a mas, no more.
Our path is blocked by a most shameless fellow, one who dares to wear upon his head the golden helmet that blue-eyed Rinaldo de Montalban won in his fierce, bloody duel against the Moorish king, Marino!
Oh, remember, your grace, when the jar hits the stone or the stone hits the jar, it's bad for the jar.
Wretched caitiff! Prepare to defend yourself or voluntarily yield up what is due to a Christian knight!
He's gone crazy.
Well, that was easy. Once more, virtue triumphs. Take up the cask, Sancho, which I have liberated from the grasp of an unworthy rascal.
Ah, it's a big one. Should bring a good price.
Oh, it is quite capacious. Huh. No doubt the infidel for whom this renowned helmet was first forged had an extraordinarily large head. Why do you laugh?
It's a barber's basin, senor. I'm laughing at thinking about the infidel with the huge head wearing a barber's basin as a helmet.
Oh, well, Truly, Sancho, that may be so. Or it may have happened that by some strange accident, the wondrous helmet of Marino fell into the hands of one who did not recognize its importance. However, this person, seeing that it appeared to be of the purest gold, had it melted down and turned into a barber's basin, just as you so correctly observed, yes.
Bueno.
But be that as it may, I recognize its true identity. Therefore, I shall wear it in this fashion.
Oh! Your ear is bleeding a lot.
We must find some palace, for my honorable wounds may be tended to by some lady of high rank.
A palace?
Avancemos to the high road.
Episodio número 6. De lo que le sucede al hidalgo en la segunda pasada, otros eventos dignos de recordación.
They travel no more than shortly when good fortune seems to take the management of their affairs.
An inn!
A palace!
An inn!
It's a palace!
The landlady, who is naturally sympathetic and charitable to all her fellow creatures, comes in with a serving girl. Maritornes.
Maritornes, a name which could mean badly turned out.
Who is this man?
Oh, this is Don Quixote de la Mancha, a knight errant.
A knight errant? We haven't had knight errants for years. Oh, honorable ladies, you may account yourselves fortunate to have me as a guest. I must not praise myself. It is self-demeaning.
Oh, husband, it seems as if we have a person of a different species with us.
Yes, we do. Let's
You
see.
must treat him with great care.
Great care, yes. There are no rooms available at this time. So let's go ahead and take him up to the hayloft and make a place for him next to the mule driver. That will be excellent.
The highest turret.
And you are who?
I'm Squire, Sancho Panza, my master's squire. But after his conquest, I will be a governor. Lord Governor Sancho Panza, at your service.
Of course, sin duda.
He is very badly bruised. What happened? What
Well,
happened to his poor ear?
he fell.
Exactly, what is a knight errant?
A knight errant is someone who is beaten up one moment and is an emperor the next.
Well, it would seem, Sir Governor Panza, as you are so closely connected to such a great man, that you would be a count or a duke at least.
Well, not yet. We need to have some more adventures. For now, let's leave him to his dreams and see what your kitchen has to offer.
Oh, we would be honored, Senor Governor, honored to have you at one of our tables. Venga, venga, venga!
What do I now remember?
Maritornes!
Maritornes. Ah, the beauteous niece of the lord of this famous palace. How quickly my manly appearance enraptured her, and how she swore to me to come and spend the best part of the night in my bed.
The entire inn is dark, silent. Unfortunately, what I have Maritornes is not very good.
Get this thing out of here!
Lovely and exalted lady, you have kept your word.
I always do!
Would to heaven I were able to repay the transcendent favor you offer me.
Por favor!
But no, no, kind maiden.
¿Cómo?
Loyalty to my lady Dulcinea stands in the way.
¿Qué dice?
I assure you, noble and enticing lady, that if circumstances did not make such a liaison impossible, my inclination would most gladly comply with yours. Maritornes! Maritornes! Maritornes!
And so, the cat to the rat to the rope, and the rope to the gallows.
Oh, Senor Governor, Your Excellency! Por favor!
All the halts! Silencio, quiet! Wife, keep the peace, and Maratona, this is a respectable house under the law!
And so this ends this evening's entertainment. The landlord and his wife,
Retire to beds in their chambers. Come, wife.
and the unfortunate knight and his squire.
Remain where they are!
Unable to move.
Are you asleep, friend Sancho?
How could I be sleeping after this night's tumbling that I had?
Oh, Sancho, just a brief while ago, I was visited by the most elegant damsel, Maritornes.
Why did you abandon me?
I shall not go on my tirade about her. She's so elegant, she's so witty, she's so wonderful. And then, there came a great battle cry, a clash of swords, the sound of trumpets, and the damsel fled off into the night. Ah, Sancho, some enchanted Moor must be guarding the treasure of this virgin beauty, and so I must conjecture it is not meant for me.
Not for me either.
Sancho, I long to be once more in quest of heroic adventures. Every hour we spend in this enchanted place, the world is deprived of my favor and protection.
Senior Knight, or whatever you call yourself.
Yes, honorable host. I go now as my profession dictates, to assist the helpless and chastise the false. But you must know that.
Just pay the bill.
What is it? What is it? I'm sorry, what? It appears this is a public house. I was under a misapprehension. I believe this was a palace. Senor Publican, you have nothing to do but excuse me from paying this account. Mierda, pay up. The custom is that knights errant do not pay for lodging, nor for anything else. Okay? You, sir, are a malicious keeper of an inn and a scoundrel.
Don Quixote leaves Sancho Panza at the mercy of
The landlord. No talk of nights. Pay up.
Oh, listen, I just follow my master's rules. You're not going to get any money from me.
You're not going to like what happens, Bobo. Caballeros! Oh, you brought a blanket. 2 hombres with this one in it.
Oh, maldito, Nina, Peta, Santa Maria, Christopher Colombo. Oh, Pleasantview.
Come on in, Sancho. Mount your steed.
Senor, why did you abandon me?
This place is surely under a spell.
They kicked me, they beat me, they tossed me.
Those who have made you suffer must be none other than phantoms belonging to the nefarious Frestone.
Phantoms? They were men just like you and me. All I know is that these adventures lead to misery.
Ah, Sancho, how little you are acquainted with the customs of chivalry. Have patience, my friend, and you will one day know for yourself the great satisfaction and the rewards which come from pursuing our vocation.
Oh, quisiera, God willing, God willing.
We must continue on this road into the Sierra Morena.
Episodio número 7, donde se cuenta una aventura muy rara.
Behold, Sancho, do you see that cloud of dust rising before us?
Well, there's another one over there.
2 tremendous armies come to face each other on this vast plain.
What shall we do?
Do? Assist the side which is weak.
Which would that one be?
Aye, Sancho, you must know. Look, the host yonder is led by the dreaded Emperor Aripanparon. Ah, on this side, his sworn enemy, Pentapolin, young king of the Garamantians. Oh, and see that?
The dust is too thick, I can't see.
Well, in the larger army, there is the ever-conquering, never-vanquished prince of Nueva Vizcaya, the cruel Timonel de Carcajona.
devil take me, I can't see any of them.
What can you be saying? The clarions sound. The drums beat. The horses.
Oh, senor, I hear sheep.
Terror clouds your senses, Sancho. You retire. I myself am sufficient to ensure victory. For the peerless Dulcinea del Toboso!
Oh, you're attacking sheep!
Horses! Horses! There! Horses!
Stop! Stop! You're killing nuestros animales!
Our sheep are in the pasture. Stop, senor.
I greet you with a saludo.
And I greet you with a rock.
Asesino! Enjuado! Murder!
Is it as big as a fist?
This one's as big as a fist.
You think he is dead?
I think so, crazy old man.
Crazy, young man. Our lambs, our rams, our sheep, 7 of them.
Siete.
Give me your flax and go!
Vámonos. Avance. Allá. Ven, amore.
Once more, this is the doing of Presto. He enters the glory I could have achieved here! So he metamorphized these squadrons of high-born knights into these flocks of lowly sheep. Sancho, I need your assistance. Tell me, how many teeth have I lost? There's no one left in my head!
Well, how many molars did you have, senor?
Hey.
3? I think you're down to 1.5 now.
Sancho, this is a cruel deprivation. Santa Maria, my poor molars! I should rather have lost an arm. No, Sancho! A mouth without molars is like a mill without a millstone. As I said, this is a cruel deprivation.
I shall call you El Caballero de la Teresa Figura, for you are the very picture of misery. I too have known misery. I have been imprisoned. I have been enslaved. But now as a free man, as I write this history of Don Quixote, I must make him to suffer as I suffered.
What can make my pain diminish?
Madness.
Madness? Who then will improve my fate?
Death.
Death?
You're smart, Don Quixote.
Madness or death? Some great writer you are! Madness. Death. Madness. Sancho, let us mount our steeds, my friend. The mountains are close by.
Episodio número 8. De lo que Don Quijote emprende en Sierra Morena, que es una de las aventuras más misteriosas que se cuenta.
Senor, Is it one of the laws of chivalry that we must ride around in these mountains?
Regard these barren slopes, Sancho. Ah, Sancho, this desolate landscape fills my heart with joy. For it is here I intend to perform a glorious feat.
Is it dangerous?
Sancho, you are by nature a coward.
A coward? Were you kicked and beaten and tossed upside down?
And in addition, you're a bad Christian.
A bad Christian?
You should forgive an injury once it has been done to you.
Forgive an injury?
Ah, noble minds forget such trifles.
Oh, but you didn't protect me. Oh, let it pass, let it pass.
You done?
I'm done.
Now, I shall withdraw into the wilderness to play the part of one who is desperate, a fool, a madman, because scorned by a lady love.
Senor, what lady love has scorned you?
Well, none, but a knight errant deserves no glory if he goes mad for a reason. Mad I am, and mad I shall remain.
Forever?
Until you return with a favorable reply to a letter I shall send with you to my lady Dulcinea.
But what if it's a bad reply?
Then I shall truly go mad and not feel anything. Come, Sancho, to the letter. It is time. Oh, Sancho, I love her more than the light of these eyes that will be consumed by the earth. Our love has always been platonic, never straying beyond a chaste glance. I have not seen her more than, 4 times. Such is the seclusion she is kept in by her father, Lorenzo Corchuelo.
Lorenzo Corchuelo is her daughter? Is her father?
He is.
Oh, so it's Aldonzo Corchuelo that is your love, that is your lady love. She's a sturdy girl.
I know.
And she's the best salter of pork in the district. But I must confess, senor, I thought you were in love with a princess rather than Aldonzo Corchuelo.
What are you implying?
I just don't understand. I don't understand how you could have gone for her. But give me the letter. Give me your blessing, and I'm off to El Tabasco.
Are you implying that she's a slut?
Oh well. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Now you talk too much and your wits are dull.
I did want to tell you there's something good about her.
How dare you?
She's a bit coy, and she's a bit of a slut.
How dare you? It is enough for me to believe that Aldonza is beautiful, that she is virtuous. I depict her in my imagination as I wish her to be. And I believe she is the highest princess on earth. I imagine that everything I say is truth. No more and no less.
Oh, you're right. I'm an ass. Give me the letter. Bless me. I'll be off to El Tabasco.
Well, in order that you may truthfully swear that you have witnessed my lunacy, you must first see me do 1 or 2 dozen fantastical acts.
Senor, I've seen you done plenty already.
You must see me naked.
Oh, no, don't take off
And
your
I must
clothes.
smash my head
Don't
with
take
a
off your clothes.
Episodio número 9, que trata de unas aventuras nuevas y agradables que le suceden a Sancho Panza y a Padre Pérez y a Nicolás en la Sierra Morena.
Let us discover what befalls Sancho Panza as he travels on the road to El Tabasco.
Look, Nicholas, another traveler on this forsaken road.
It's our friend, Sancho Panza.
Yes, and with him the horse of Alonso Quixote.
Padre Perez.
Fred Sancho,
Senor
where?
Nicolas.
Over here.
Fred Sancho, where's your master?
Oh, I can't tell you.
Son, if you refuse to tell us, we are going to think that you robbed him. Perhaps even murdered him. You have his horse.
Oh, I won't rob or kill anybody. My master is in the mountains doing crazy things. But he gave me this letter to give to his lady love, Lady Dulcinea, who in reality is Aldonza Corchete.
Oh.
Oh, geez, I've forgotten. Oh, where's my letter? I forgot my letter. Oh, there goes my island.
Your what?
My islands, the one, the governance of which were promised me by Don Quixote, by my master.
What government?
I must read this letter.
Well, you know, I wish I had it. I left it behind.
He's been stalked into his master's madness.
He too has gone loco.
Sancho, we want to help you. Bring your master to us, and we shall entice him home.
How?
Oh,
Go.
well,
Don't bring
we
your dear
must.
friend to
No,
us.
no, no, no. We must devise a plan. I haven't. I shall disguise myself as a squire, and you will dress in the clothes of a wandering maiden.
Why do I have to wear the dress?
It would be indecent for a priest to appear in a gown.
Oh, well, yes. Continue.
Oh. We shall ask Don Quixote to accompany us to a house. No. Castle. To rectify an egregious affront to the nation.
You two guys are as crazy as my master.
But in reality, we'll conduct him to his own habitation.
Yeah. You're nuts. You guys are nuts.
Fire, fire.
Con Dios.
Do you hear something?
This is no human creature.
I come from Andalusia, and I am called Dorothea.
Dorothea, the most quick-witted, graceful, and spirited maiden in this entire history. Her intelligence is only rivaled by her exquisite beauty. Time, alas, does not permit the telling of her intriguing story. However, permit me to suggest you purchase a copy of my book, where you may read a full account of her life and loves. For now, let us move ahead with the events in the Sierra Morena.
Dorothea, you are wise and we are wonderful to have you. Our padre here has a plan. He is going to play the part of a helpful nobleman. And I have to be the distressed princess, in a dress yet. While Sancho, who is about to come back with his master, needs to find him and bring him to us.
Clever, senores. But surely I can play the distressed princess better than the barber. I have read a number of these books of chivalry, and I know a great deal about distressed princesses.
We shall put this new strategy into action.
Senores!
Who is it that calls?
In what condition have you found your Don Quixote?
Oh, He's in the mountains. He's hungry. He's tired. He's half naked, and he's just falling apart.
Where is he now?
Well, he's right behind me. Who is she?
This Brother Sancho is a princess.
Fair lady, please do not kneel.
Episodio número 10, que trata de la discreción de la doncella hermosa y otros pasatiempos.
Never will I rise, most valiant and invincible knight, until your goodness and benevolence grant a boon to this, the most disconsolate damsel that e'er the sun beheld.
Oh, you could easily grant this boon. She's a princess. She may have islands, and you could marry her.
Whoever she is, I am duty-bound to act according to the dictates of my profession. Arise, I grant whatever boon you ask.
First of all, Senora, know that I am the princess Micomicon.
Heiress to the kingdom of Micomicon!
My father was Tenacrio the sage, a magician who discovered through his art that when he and my mother,
Queen Hanamiya,
would die, a monstrous giant,
Pandafilando!
yes, Pandafilando, would learn of my orphan state and invade my kingdom. My father instructed me that if I wish to avoid complete destruction, I must find a certain knight errant, one whose fame extends throughout the land, a knight named Don Quixote.
Oh, that's my master!
It is I! Don Quixote, el caballero de la triste figura. A vuestras órdenes!
And he hates giants.
I hate them!
Also, my good father prophesied that after cutting off the head of Panfilando, the knight, el caballero de la triste figura, would marry me, and I would become his queen.
Ah, a kingdom for Don Quixote, a queen and a beauty. Oh, the fleas in my face should be so nice.
I shall deprive your adversary of his head and put you in possession of your throne. But my heart is enslaved to my lady Dulcinea.
What? Are you crazy? Marry this one. Get a kingdom. And I would have the governorship. And
Base villain, how dare you treat me with such disrespect? How dare you wag your tongue against the peerless Dulcinea? She inspires me! My arm is her instrument! Through me she fights, and through her I live! You foul horseman!
Marry this one. How else are you going to bestow upon me the gifts? And you can still see Lady Dulcinea on the side.
No!
Other kings do that. Yes, you can still see. And as to beauty, regarding beauty, they both look fine to me.
Then you have seen my lady.
See?
What did she say to my letter?
Oh, I forgot your letter.
Oh, yes, I failed to write it. This does not displease me. Go on. What did she say? Has she any commands?
Yes, she commanded me to tell your grace that she kisses your hand and to come out of the mountains and stop doing these crazy things and to come to El Toboso to see her as soon as possible.
Sancho, what shall I do? My lady bids me to return, but I am obliged to the princess.
Marry her! Marry her!
kingdom.
You must, and then you can return to your lady Dulcinea.
Ah, brother Pancho. Our quarrel is behind us. I forgive you, and you must forgive me for what I did in my wrath, for no man can control the first impulses of his passion, huh?
Yes, I'm impulsive too. I say the first thing I think. Gotta watch my mouth.
Yes, you should. Think about what you say.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Well, then, let us go in the name of God to the assistance of this high-born lady!
Episodio número 11, que trata de lo que sucede a toda la cuadrilla de Don Quixote en la posada.
Our friends travel on together without any incident worth mentioning until they arrive at an inn, which happens to be the inn from episode 6.
Oh,
no, back again?
honorable host! We return after countless heroic adventures to partake of your unique hospitality.
Well, welcome to you. Welcome to you and to your companions.
Thank you. I only request that you prepare for me a bed more commodious than that which I occupied during my previous stay.
You shall repose like a prince, Sir Knight.
Thank you.
Provided you pay.
Signore, you have my pledge that you will be more than satisfied.
With the expectation that the elegant lady will pay well, the landlord welcomes them all. Bienvenidos. Welcome.
Well, would your Royal Highness like to... Would your Royal... Would your Royal Highness like to... Would your Highness like to partake of some sweet pudding made from the freshest of curds?
Un placer.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Governor?
Yes, con mucho gusto, mucho gusto.
Well, such distinguished company calls for our very best wine.
It's in the hayloft. Shall we wait?
Back at the hayloft, Don Quixote, deep and sweet, dreams that he arrives in the kingdom of Michael and comes upon the dreaded Pandolfilando.
Stay where you are! No such giant as you can escape my stroke! Monster! The blade of your scimitar shall not avail you here! Villain as you die, I sever your bloody head from your evil body!
Oh, he's cut open my wineskin. He's my best wine.
This is the Lord's
Okay. All good. What? You have what?
What will you do?
I'm gonna tie her up. They've done enough damage here. I want them out of here.
We must get our townsmen home before the summer.
Before someone kills him.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yeah, get him!
If we leave him tied up,
Wife,
better leave
come
him
away
alone.
from these people. Boston, come up. Boston,
Let
let's
us,
stay
let
ahead
us, let us return to the Mancha.
Return and say,
I am a poor man. I don't owe anything to anybody. The man is the child of his actions. As to my master's madness, Only God knows.
When they reach Don Quixote's village, he is taken home, put to bed, and cared for. Dear reader, you may be asking the question, does he sally forth again? Are there more adventures? And what of Sancho Panza? Does he become a governor? For answers to these and other puzzling questions, I urge you to consult my book. Always keeping in mind that for me alone was Don Quixote born, and I for him. He knew how to act, and I to write. We were born for each other. We are one. Ballet. Adios! Ladies and gentlemen, there's a couple of things we'd like to say. Here are the... Take those first, okay? There are two people here who are very instrumental in today's production. We would be remiss if we didn't give them their proper due.
Just like to thank my best friend and wonderful sound person, Kelly.
Last but not least, the gentleman who put this motley crew together, our director, Mr. Fred Sokol.